Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Cici and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today's video is going to be a what sold for the first half of November. Actually, I'm going to go to November 18th just because that's what day it is today, and I'll just be a little bit ahead of schedule for the next video. So my first sale of the month was actually a Dooney & Bourke satchel. It was a fabric satchel and it had a little bit of wear to the leather on the handles, and it had a few marks to the fabric, which I had tried to stain treat and that didn't work. I just paid a little over $2 for it at the bins. I posted it on the 16th of October. It sold on November 1st, so 16 days. I sold it for $25 with a shipping discount, netting me $17.02, so I made about $15 on that bag after cost of goods. I probably could have sold it for a higher price point, but I just kind of wanted to get rid of it. It had a good handful of likers, and I think I was originally offering $30 and $4.99 shipping, but I just started offering $25 and it flew out the door, so fine by me. I mean, I didn't pay that much for it, so not a big deal. My next sale was a gorgeous silk scarf. It was like black, and then it had like another layer of silk that was a nice chartreuse green, and it almost glowed. It almost had like a neon hue to it. It was really beautiful. But what was best about the scarf is in between those two layers of fabric, it had silk butterflies, like red and blue silk butterflies, and it just photographed really well, and I was really excited that it sold. I believe I had that item posted at $25 and someone liked it and I offered $20 with discounted shipping. I had paid $1.82 for it. I posted it on September 1st. It sold on November 2nd, so 62 days, netting me $13.02, $11.20 after my cost of goods on that item. Then I sold this. This sold after a day. It was a Polo Ralph Lauren quarter zip. I've sold several of them. They sell pretty well. This was a men's size medium, but I got it at the bins, and after I got it home, let me look on my spreadsheet here. After I got it home, yeah, I posted it on the 2nd of November. It sold on the 3rd. I got it for $1.95 at the bins. I had it priced at $10 because of the flaws. It had a small fabric hole here and then another one on the opposite shoulder in the back. And the material was cotton and stretchy and ribbed. So unless you really stretched it, it wasn't that visible, but it was visible. So at that price point, it sold, netting me $7.05, and that my profit was $5.10 after cost of goods. The next item was a gorgeous pair of men's boots, and I had these in one of my thrift haul videos, and I wasn't sure at that time if they were leather. They were definitely leather, but they were by the Georgia Boot Company, and the style name was the Farm and Ranch boot, and it was a Western style pull-on work boot, and they were actually in great condition. They were men's size 9, so I think that might be a little bit of a smaller size for men's. But I got them in a huge batch of shoes at the Goodwill Outlet, so I paid $4.11 for them because that day I had gotten nothing but shoes, so my cost of goods per item actually ended up being pretty high. I mean, $4.11 for a pair of shoes isn't terrible, but I posted those on September 17th. They sold on the 4th of November after 48 days. I had them priced at $45. Someone purchased them outright for $45, so that netted me $36, $31.89 after my cost of goods. Then I sold this pair of lilac. I posted them as jeans, but they were actually like a crushed velvet finish or velour. I guess velour is more like sweatshirt material and velvet is more like jeans material. I don't know, but they were Guess, and they were like, I believe they were Y2K style. I was worried about them selling because it wasn't really clear in the picture that they were velvet, so someone would have had to like actually read the description because the velvet fabric didn't really pop that much in the pictures, but they were women's size 30. I got them at the bins for $2.58, posted on October 20th. They sold on November 4th after 15 days, not bad. I had them priced at $30. Someone offered me $24. I accepted, netting me $19.20. $16.62 after my cost of goods. Then the next item that sold was a pair of Fry boots. I got a 4-star rating on this sale. These boots I got at the bins and they photographed really well. They were the Melissa leather belt boot by Fry. They were women's size 7.5. I paid $360 for them, posted them on September 2nd. So they'd been posted a couple months. They sold on the 5th after 64 days for $70. I had them listed at $100, netting me $56, $52.40 after cost of goods. But they photographed really, really, really well. And I will say this, when I took them out of my storage box and I looked at them, they didn't seem to look as nice. So it was a really sunny day when I photographed them. And I think that just made them look a little more rustic than they actually were, because they had like full bright sunshine right on them. So, I mean, there was nothing wrong with them. They weren't flawed, but I shipped them and it crossed my mind. I was like, wow, these don't look as great as they did when I took the pictures. So I actually am lucky enough to still have, I don't know if you guys are familiar with postal shipping boxes, but there's a big, huge box called the game box that the post office has. It's been discontinued, but I was able to get like, I think 15 of them. So when I sell boots like that aren't really foldable, I put them in that box. So in this case, I put them in the box. There was no damage to them. But I think she just didn't like them. They didn't come through in person as well as they did in the pictures. But she accepted them, so that was one of my better sales of the month so far. Then this has been a problematic sale. I'm actually just shipping a replacement item or a complimentary item to this customer today. This was a bundle to a woman in Illinois. She got a pair of Italian leather boots that I had priced at $35 and a pair of men's Cole Haan Nike Air driving loafers, and they were both beautiful. The driving loafers even probably more so than the woman's boots in my opinion. But she liked them both. I had them priced at $35. I offered her $50, which netted me $40. And my cost of goods on both of those, I paid $1.68 for the boots, and then for the Cole Haan loafers, I had paid $3.09. So I don't know, let's just call it $5. So, you know, I profited about $35 on the sale after cost of goods. But she got them and she accepted them, and then she rated it a 3, and she said that there was a little damage to the sole, like the sole was coming a little bit unattached from the leather or from the shoe. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? They were in great, and they were in great shape. I didn't when I shipped them, I didn't like pull apart at them to make sure they were still attached. But these were a pair of loafers that I found at the bins, and I was actually surprised at what good shape they were in. They looked so nice. So I trusted what she said. I was like, well, what can I do to make it right? And she looked around and looked in my closet, and I didn't even offer that, but she's like, well, I saw this scarf, you know, it's about the same price as I got the shoes for. Would you be willing to send that? I said, absolutely. Marked it not for sale, and this was on a weekend, so I just, you know, marked it not for sale, and I was going to ship it to her that Monday. Then she sent me another message a few days later saying the sole was coming absolutely unattached, and she just wanted a refund. Unfortunately, she had already accepted them, so I invited Poshmark into the conversation. I said, well, what do we do in this case? I'd love to refund this person. They've already accepted the order. Does she need to open a case? What needs to happen? And this was probably on the 9th of November. Today's the 18th. They never got back. She emailed me back after they hadn't gotten back to us after a few days. I reached out to them again, and just, she and I were kind of in limbo. She was super nice about it. She wasn't like grouchy about it or anything. And I felt frustrated that I wasn't able to help her. Like, I was like, well, they usually take a little while to respond, but not quite this long. So I don't know what's going on. So finally, and we didn't hear anything, and I reached out to her. I was like, well, maybe you should reach out to them. You know, maybe they're not responding to me because you already accepted it. So she reached out to them. They didn't get back to her either. So in the meantime, I had posted the sweater, and she's like, well, I saw this sweater I like. Maybe we can just do that. I was like, you know, I'd even be fine with like Venmoing you or Cash Apping you a refund, because she paid, I believe, $25 per item if I netted 20. So I would have just sent her the money, but you can't really exchange personal information on Posh. I know this is getting long. So anyway, last night she decided on that sweater. It is on my front porch, shipped. I paid, or not shipped, but waiting for the post office to pick it up. I paid $9.80 for a flat rate shipping label. commercial rate. If you do it at home instead of at the post office, you can get the commercial rate. So it's, because I think it would have been like $14 at the post office. Or don't quote, I'm making something up. I don't know how much it would have been, but it would have been more than $9.80. So that is on the way to her. I've sent her the tracking number. Hopefully that will resolve that. But I've never had Poshmark just flat out not respond to something. So that was kind of a problematic lingering sale. I mean, she seemed like a real honest person. I don't think she was pulling my leg. But one thing she did say, she's like, well, I'll go and update my review when I get this and, write how you went out of your way to resolve it. And I messaged her back. I was like, well, you don't have to put all the details because there's enough scammers out there that I don't want people thinking they can just order something, say something was wrong with it, and then I would send them another item with not getting because I'm not going to get those loafers back. So I asked her to and she gave me a thumbs up email back. So anyway, so what did I say? I made $35. So then take off the 10, so that means I made 25, and then I gave up another piece of inventory that I probably would have cleared about 20 on. So I think I'm in the hole on that. What did I say? 35 minus the shipping would have been 20. So I've made about $5 on those 3 items in total. Just one of those things. My next sale, moving right along here, was a Duluth Trading Company. Is a great brand, and some other items get a lot of attention, some don't. This one was an item that did not. It didn't. My cell phone takes terrible pictures of the color purple. Like if it's a deep dark purple, it really makes it like bright and super vivid. And this more lavender lilac kind of purple, it kind of mutes out. This was a polar fleece, really nice woman's. It has standing collar and a kangaroo pocket at the front and little thumb holes. Nice polar fleece for winter. Good size, woman's size large, but it took a while to sell. I thought it was going to sell a little bit more quickly. I got it for $2.13. I posted it on the 24th of September. It sold on November 8th, so 45 days. I had it listed at 25, I think. Someone offered me 18. I accepted, netting me $14.40, $12.27 after my cost of goods. Then I sold this pair of boots. I hadn't heard of this brand before. The brand was Chase and Chloe, and the boot style name was the Amelia. I think it might have been a boutique brand because it was like Chase and Chloe Los Angeles. But they were a silver metallic, chunky. It had a kind of chunky, clear heel over the knee boot. So something like you could wear for New Year's or a party or that. And I had gotten those at the bins for just $1.68. I posted them on October 10th. They sold on November 9th, so 30 days for $17. I think I had them posted at $20, and someone offered me $17, netting me $13.60, $11.92 after my cost of goods. This shirt was a LuLaRoe. I said quite a while ago that I was never going to pick up LuLaRoe again. I saw this in the bins. I think I was down at the Brunswick, Georgia Goodwill Outlet. And it was sparkly, and I'm really drawn to sparkly things. It was kind of a woman's tunic. It had little eyelash trim it had like cap sleeves with eyelash trim. So I paid $1.82 for it. I posted this piece on August 31st. For LuLaRoe, it sold on the 9th of November after 70 days. I think that's actually excellent. It was like in new with tags condition. It photographed pretty well. So the person actually purchased it outright for $20. And then that netted me $16 and $14.18 after my cost of goods. Then that same buyer came right back and left me a note and said, oh, I really love your closet. And then she liked another item, this gorgeous sweater that I had gotten. So because she just made a purchase, I wanted to give her a little bit of a larger discount than I typically would with a sweater. But this was I modeled this sweater because it didn't have any tags in it, no material content, size, brand, but it was clearly a vintage kind of abstract, artsy, multicolor sweater, and it was wool and Angora blend. It was so heavy and it was so hot. When I put it on, I just felt like I was going to start melting away. It was so warm and heavy. So definitely, I can't remember where she lived, hopefully in a colder climate, because that was a really warm sweater. But I paid $2.86 for that, posted it on October 22nd. It sold on the 9th, so only 18 days. I had it posted at, oh no, she made me an offer. Let me rewind what I said. No, so after she outright bought the LuLaRoe, this was priced at $35, perhaps $40. She offered me $32, so of course I accepted. So that netted me $25. $60 and $22.74 after my cost of goods. But that was just a really nice sweater. And even though it photographed well, the photos just didn't quite do it justice. I mean, it filled up a whole mailing box. If you ever use the Postal Service large mailing box, I put it in one of those and it filled up the whole thing. It was just really nice sweater. I hope she enjoys it. She did give me 5-star rating on both pieces. So the next item, I think I might have let go at a little bit too low of a price point. It was a Lululemon reversible jacket, and it was a great purple color. It had a few nicks to the material, not anything, I mean, I wouldn't even consider a flaw. I just kind of noted it in the post, but it was called the Dance Studio Jacket. I'm sorry, my computer's being weird. It was called the Dance Studio Jacket, and it was reversible. It had pockets on both sides. It had the whole Lululemon logo all across the front of one side. It was just really nice, and it was kind of fitted. It was definitely warm. I think I had that piece listed at $45. I had gotten it for $2.10, posted it on at the bins, posted it on October 31st. It sold on November 10th after 10 days for $35. I think I offered her $35 with a shipping discount. So I netted $25.98, $23.88 after cost of goods. I guess I just kind of, looking at the comps on that, I think some sold for more and some sold for less. So I just didn't know which, like I just wanted to sell it, I guess. My sales have been just absolutely terrible this month. I have a little summary right here where I'll give you numbers for this month, but I don't think at all that I'm going to do as well as October. So there's a little bug in here. So I'm being generous with offers just to get some of this inventory out of here. And then I think I'm going to have a half off sale, but I'll talk more about that later. So this was the other Dooney & Bourke bag that I sold. This was a piece that I actually overpaid for. I paid $20 outright. There was no sales tax. It was at a church thrift store. But it was the Norfolk all-weather leather satchel. Vintage Dooney. I paid $20. I posted it on May 23rd. I've reposted it 2 times. And I think I originally had it posted at like 75, and then maybe I took it down to 60, and I finally took it down to 45, 40? I can't remember. I think 45. No, 50. I had it at 50. Then I was offering people 40 just outright, no shipping discount. And nobody was taking it. It had a lot of likers. So this particular buyer, said she would get it with a shipping discount. Well, I couldn't resend the offer because the way Posh is set up, you can't send the same offer within 60 days or whatever. So I said, well, the shipping discount would make the cost of goods or the cost to you about $37. So just offer me $37 and I'll accept, because I was ready to see the bag go. So she did. I netted $29.60, so my true profit on that purse was $9.60 after my cost of goods. So definitely not the price point or the profit you want to make on a Dooney & Bourke. But I shouldn't have paid more than $10 for that purse, so that was my fault. I'm glad it's gone. I actually, of those two, I will say this is a confession. Of those 2 Dooney & Bourkes that I had, I have a leather Dooney & Bourke strap that would have gone on either of those, because the Dooney leather is always that same like caramel color leather. So I found that hanging in my closet with my own personal belts. I think I was kind of hanging it there while I decided which purse I wanted to attach it to, and I was going to add in photos. Well, I forgot, and now both of those purses have sold. I'm not going to incur any more shipping costs because I've already just sent that other customer shipping. I didn't advertise either of those purses with the strap, but I know that strap belonged to one of those bags. So I'm just going to sell it separately. It's in great condition. It's in way better condition than either of those bags were. So it probably wouldn't have matched, because the bag that I just let go for $37 actually did have some decent wear to it. So anyway, yeah. My next sale was a big bundle sale, 7 items. And the buyer was just super nice. She picked some great pieces, most of which were posted kind of recently. And because I was so anxious for sales, I made her a great offer, but not until she emailed me, because she made this bundle. This was shipping to California, so I assume she's on West Coast time. I'm on East Coast time. So she had made a bundle at night. And sometimes when I get up in the morning and I'm kind of looking at my Poshmark notifications, bundles can slip through the cracks. So she actually went in and put a comment and said, hey, I really would like to get these items. Would you be willing to make me an offer? I was like, yeah, of course. So they cost originally, the way I had them priced, the bundle would have been $145. So I offered her $100 with no shipping discount, which netted me $80. I don't know, like I'm trying to leave space up here to scroll items. There's 7 items, so I don't know how I'm going to get all of these up here. But basically, I will tell you, doing that made my net kind of sucky. So like on this Old Navy romper, I ended up netting $11.20. On this Merona dress, actually no, it wasn't bad. On this Merona dress, I ended up netting $11.20. So this is after, this doesn't count my cost of goods. This little baby Wrangler snap, or it was a button front onesie, I just ended up netting $2.40. It had a stain on the collar. I think I had it priced at $10. I wouldn't have expected anything more. This beautiful in-loom sundress I had gotten really recently, that posted on 11/8. So that sold, this sale was on November 11th, so it didn't take that long for that to sell. But I made $13.60 on that. And then the next item was a beautiful silk scarf by Ellen Tracy. It was just multicolor, vibrant, 100% silk. I ended up making $11.20 on that item. And then this J. Jill denim shift dress I made $13.60 on. And then lastly, this Free People All Eyes on You dress I ended up making $16.80 on. So line by line, actually not bad. That was a good bundle. I mean, of course, I would have made more if I sold it at full price, but I was really glad to get rid of a lot of those items. Not in the way that they were undesirable, but just they had actually all been very recently posted in November. 2 of them were posted at the end of October, and then the Old Navy romper had just been posted in August. So none of those items had been posted terribly long. It was good to move so many items in one fell swoop. After my cost of goods, I don't have that on my bundle calculator spreadsheet to break down, but I assume, let's just say I paid $2 for each, so 2 times 7 would be 14, 80, so that would be 70 or 66 approximate profit. So I'm okay with that, especially to move a lot of items. I used to have an automatic bundle discount excuse me, in my closet, but I found when people were bundling, first they would still want an additional discount even after the automatic bundle discount lowered the price of the bundle. And then when I would have sales, it would be, I'd have to go turn that off anyway, just because the sale discount, and that would make it too much. So it just turned out to be too much of an administrative nightmare to keep it up there. So I took my closet level bundle discount down. The next sale was a pair of Betsy Johnson little ankle boots. They were called the Willow, and I had them listed at $25. And I had forgotten there was a little buckle accent on the outer shaft, and it was separating. So basically the leather was separating from the lining. And I had put that, excuse me, my nose running. I had noted that in the post, but I think that when I priced them at $25, I forgot about the damage. So I had been offering people $20 and $4.99 shipping, no takers. And then this customer came along and liked them, and I offered her, I think, just $15 outright. And she accepted, so that I had paid $305 for them. So that netted me $895 after my cost of goods. But they were flawed. And after she purchased them, she sent me a message before I'd even shipped them. And she said, thank you so much. I've been looking just for a pair of boots just like this, and they were all priced too high. So thank you for sending me that good offer. I have some, leather glue, and I'm just going to repair the straps or the buckle accent. So I was like, good, win-win. That's awesome. And she's since gotten them and given me 5 stars. So they must have worked out for her. My next sale was a pair of Mark Fisher heels, and they were by the Mark Fisher limited line, which was a higher tier line that they had for going for a while. I don't think they have it anymore. These were given to me to sell on Poshmark, so there was no cost of goods to me. And they'd been posted since August 25th. They were a really attractive pair of women's just classic pointy toe, chunky block heel, like pumps. So I thought they would have sold more quickly, but they did not. I have them listed at $35, I think. So someone liked them the other day. I offered 28. They accepted, which netted me $22.40 all profit, and they were listed for 79 days. Then I sold this pair of boots that I didn't want to give up at the price point I gave them up at. They've been posted since June 5th, so I was kind of a little bit disappointed that they hadn't sold. I did a repost on them once. They were super attractive. They were Steve Madden. They were leather. They were called the Captain boot, and they were like a combat moto style bling. They had like rhinestone bling around the ankle. 7.5. They had one scuff to the leather at the rear of one of the boots, but those are like the only thing wrong with them. I paid $9.62 for them at a regular Goodwill. So they finally, and I'd been sending off, I had them at 50, and I'd been sending people offers just for flat 40 and no takers. So I started offering 35 with no shipping discount, and I offered this to this particular customer, and she countered 30, and I didn't want to accept because I paid $10 for them, and I thought they were way nicer than to sell for $30, but I got to move some of these boots. I have a decent amount of boots, so I weighed my options. I was like, well, you know, no one else might buy them for a while, and then you're stuck with them, or what if they sit all winter? So I accepted, netted me $14.38 after my cost of goods, and those were posted 161 days. I just thought they had photographed so well, and they were really in good shape, so I was kind of disappointed. Maybe it was the brand, maybe it was because they were Steve Madden. Steve Madden has some really nice boot styles, but he just has so many shoes out there that maybe that has something to do with it. Next sale was a pair of UGG boots. I'd gotten these at the bins for $3.09. I posted them on October 3rd. They sold on November 13th after 41 days. I had them listed at 30. I offered someone 25. They accepted, netting me $16.91 after my cost of goods. And they were the Cardi boot. They're like a sweater boot that you can wear to the knee, or you can roll them over. And there was a little bit of wear to the fabric. That's why I had them priced so low. This was another Lululemon item that I sold. This was given to me to sell, so I didn't have a cost of goods on it. It was the Embrace hoodie, and it was kind of a charcoal, grayish black, washed out fabric, but it was a really heavyweight, like hooded sweater, super nice. The comps weren't super great on it, though, which I didn't understand because I thought it was one of the nicer Lululemon pieces that I had found. But it was size 8. I posted it on 8/21. I relisted it just, I think, a day before it sold, so I think that's what prompted the sale. So it sold on the 14th of November after 85 days for $30. I think I had it listed at 40, and someone liked it, and I was just kind of discouraged because I had reposted it, and I just wanted it to sell. So I offered 30, no shipping discount, netting me 24, which was all profit. Then I found this, and this was such a cool shirt. I just had it in my most recent bins haul video, I believe, and it was flawed, unfortunately. I didn't realize that when I did the bins haul video, but it was missing a button. But the brand was Ken Done, D-O-N-E, and it was just a really relaxed fit, bubblegum pink, vibrant tropical print woman's button front shirt that you would wear like for drinks at the margarita bar or travel. It was kind of cool, kind of eclectic, and it caught my eye because it looked like Jam's World. So, but apparently this brand does pretty well. There wasn't a lot of it out there, but I think there are people who like it. So I posted it on November 14th. It sold after a day on November 15th. Because it was missing a button, it was just missing the center button. It wasn't like the bottom button or the top button. I suppose the person can get it and switch them around. I put in the post, it's like, well, this shirt could be worn open, or, you know, a different button could be sewn on, but it's missing the middle button. So I priced it at 10. I had paid $1.65 for it at the bins. That netted me $7.05 and $5.40 after my cost of goods. So it was unfortunate. The buttons were kind of unique too, so it wasn't something I could try to fix. And I looked, you know, inside at the seams to see if there were extra buttons, and there weren't. So just one of those things. 2 more sales for the time frame of November 1st to November 18th. This was a gorgeous, and I let this go for too low too because I won't quite say desperate for sales, but I'm damn near desperate for sales. It's been a really slow month, but this was a gorgeous Lauren Ralph Lauren sweater, just very classic, Nice gold buttons, side pockets, standing collar. It was a thick knit. It was like a heavyweight, perfect for winter, dark navy blue sweater. Lauren Ralph Lauren, I said that right. So I had paid $1.65 for it at the bins. I posted it on the 11th. It sold on the 16th, so just 5 days. I had it listed at 30, which I think actually was a little bit too low to start with, and someone offered me 23. And I was like, oh, I should counter 25 and at least get 25 for it. But I was like, you know what? It's bulky. It's taking up a lot of room in the bin that it's in. You know, what's a few dollars? So I accepted 23, netting me $18.40 and $16.75 after cost of goods, which isn't terrible. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I just want to keep it moving. I want the sales to keep moving, so whatever it takes. Last sale of that time frame is a Target hat. It's just a kind of Chanel knit burgundy, what do they call those hats? Bucket hat. It's a winter bucket hat. I had gotten 3 of them. This is the second one to sell, so I have one more left. But I paid $1.68 for it, posted it on October 9th, sold on November 18th. 40 days listed. It sold. I offered her 11 with a shipping discount because I think I had sold the other one for 9. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to get that much more for this one. And it's a winter hat, so I want it to go. So that netted me $5.07, $3.39 after my cost of goods. So, not super great. Let me give you the high level breakdown for these 18 days. So I've sold 29 listings. That includes all the listings in the bundles. I spent $86.70 for all of those items. I netted, the money I got in my hand was $526.39. So my true net after spending that $86.70 to source those items, true net after cost of goods is $439.69 for the first 18 days of November. So what that means is I'm selling 1.61 items a day, not a lot. I'd like to sell at least 3 a day. And if I keep going at that rate, it's going to take me, I have 307 active listings currently. It'll take me 231 days to sell all of those 307 items. And that's saying that I don't post anymore, which I actually have a thrift haul for you of 20 items. So I'm going to be posting at least 20 more items. And I also have items left from my previous thrift haul that I haven't posted yet. But so average net per item was $18.15, which is actually really good for my closet. That's really good because I usually hover much closer to $14. And my true net after cost of goods on average per piece was $15.16, which for my closet is not bad. I know some people won't even pick up anything unless they make a $25 profit on it. I don't have that kind of closet, so 15 is okay. I mean, of course, I'd like it higher, but I'm okay with that. I will say that because I've gotten myself up to 307 listings, which is a little bit more than I want it to have, I really just want it to be right around 250 active listings, and because I have new things coming in, and because I think it's just really good to totally refresh your closet every now and again, I am going to have a half-off sale. You can give me your thoughts or opinion on this. I'm not sure if I should have it like a Black Friday sale the whole week of Thanksgiving, or if I should wait till the first week of December, because my first thought was to have half off winter. And then I was like, you know what? The majority of the items in my closet are winter. Why don't I just do half off the whole closet? Then I can kind of get a lot of inventory out of here and refresh it and get some new stuff in instead of always sharing the same things in the algorithm. And, you know, I think Poshmark kind of starts to not put your stuff out there as much after it's been posted for some time. I do use the repost feature on occasion. I don't use it as much as I used to because I'm only doing this part-time now, and it doesn't occur to me I should probably get that on a schedule. But so the other thing with the half off sale I learned from my previous half off sales is I'm going to put an item count limit of 4, no more than 4 items per bundle, because the weight on, and I have so many sweaters and boots for sale, because the weight per item varies so much and it's so easy to go over that $5 or 5 pound shipping limit. And then you have to start paying for upgraded labels and you have to negotiate with the person to get them to pay for it. And it's just administratively a nightmare. So I'm going to put a limit of 4 items per bundle when I do that sale. And then I've already gone through, and any item that is heavy Or like I have a hat that's like super big that I wouldn't want to put in a box with anything else if it's sold. So all those items I've already pre-marked as not eligible for bundling. So I'm totally still going to offer them at half off, but they would just have to be bought on a one-off basis. So that's enough chatty from me. I actually have a thrift haul that I got earlier today when I went down to Brunswick, Georgia, to their Goodwill Outlet, which actually has an attached Goodwill store, and it's kind of neat. If you're ever in the area, check it out. I think they get like a lot more local traffic than people like doing it as a destination, but it's just right off of 95 if you're headed down to Florida. It's right there. But anyway, enough plugging that. I think I'd probably like it to stay undiscovered. I find good things there. It's not bad. But I went down there and I got 20 items. So if you're interested in seeing what I picked up to resell, please stick around. If not, if you just came for the what's sold, thank you so much. It does mean a lot that you stop by and watch. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see what I got, please just stick right here with me. I have it. I think I can do it from right here. I have these items behind me. So yeah, I think I can. So 20, let me just tell you on my receipt. Okay, here's my little receipt. I got 20 items. The average cost per item was $1.65, and I paid $33.02 for all these items. 17.4 pounds. Their cost is $1.79 a pound. These are a pair of women's nice cream. They're actually leather. Little chunky heel with a horse bit. Is that quite a horse bit? It looks a little rounder than a horse bit, but I'm just going to call it a horse bit. But they're cream ankle boots, and they're in good shape. They have a few scratches, I think, to the other heel, but they are size 8. Are they size 8.5 or 8? They're size 8.5, and they are bandolino. And I'm going to try to clean this up because the other boot has a little scratch to it, but I think they're just really sharp. And a nice winter white. These are really cute. They are Maripe, and I made sure both shoes match because the last time I picked up a pair of Maripe rhinestone shoes a few videos back in a thrift haul, it ended up being one Maripe and one totally different brand, similar shoes, same size, and I just didn't look well enough. But I picked these up because they are a beautiful rhinestone dancing shoe. So it's got that T-strap. Look at that. How cute is that? And then it's got peep toe with a gorgeous rhinestone bow. And I think that T-strap there is just a great selling point. They don't have a ton of wear. There's a little bit, like there's spots where there's probably not quite as many rhinestones as there should be, where they're balding or whatever. But overall, in great shape. They look really cute on. I tried them on. I could not, I could never wear a heel like that, so I definitely wouldn't keep them. But perfect for a holiday party or New Year's or something, or even any formal occasion year round. I mean, you could wear those for summer, but definite pickup. Maripe surprises me. It does well for me. I think I've said before that I think it's under the Anthropologie umbrella. I'm not 100% sure on that. This pair of boots is unfortunately size 6.5, and they are Harley Davidson, and they have a little bit of wear, but they're a woman's just chunky block heel, kind of Y2K look. They've got, they have the Harley Davidson little brand that's not focusing emblem there. There's wear to the toes. I'm going to clean it up the best I can, and then unfortunately, let me set this one down. The inside has peeled the way they put that vinyl lining in there. It drives me crazy that manufacturers do that. Like, if it's leather on the outer, just leave it unlined versus putting that vinyl in there, because the vinyl actually just ends up peeling. If the boot lasts a long time, then you've got a peeling lining. It just irritates me. But yeah, they're size women's 6.5. And I want to get those posted soon because Harley Davidson always brings a lot of traffic to my closet. I won't pick up shirts by that brand anymore because they just sit, they don't sell. Anywho, because those were Y2K styling, I picked them up. This is a cute workout shirt. It's size large, and it's so fitted, and it's cropped, and it's fitted. It's very stretchy. I almost would have thought it was a girl's, but it has the built-in shelf bra. I tried it on because I thought it was cute, but it's a little tight on me. And then it doesn't have any lining in the back, so it just has the shelf bra on the front. I guess that's how most of those pieces are. I don't know. But, no brand. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna throw these. Okay, then I got this sweater. I believe it's a woman's size small. It doesn't have any size tag, but it's vintage. So the tag says Frostland, and it's wool. I think it says, no, it's 65% virgin wool, 35% mohair. So a great blend. And having that mohair in there makes it less itchy. No holes. I looked it over really well. And it's just super soft, a nice kind of beigeish cream. So I thought that was, even though it's size small, a good piece for this time of year. And you know what? When I have my half off sale, if these items don't sell at full price, they're going to sell on my half off sale. And I'll tell you what, come the end of January, whatever I have left for winter, I might end up doing a 5 for $25 on. I don't know. Those kind of sales are a lot of work, but I don't want to hold on to this stuff into the summer. I just don't want to. So that's my new strategy. When I had a larger size closet and more storage space, I would just keep stuff year round forever and just wait for it to sell, because everything always sells. Everything has a buyer. It can sometimes take up to 3 years, but everything will eventually sell. But I don't have that business model anymore. I need to move things. This is a Woolrich men's size 2X or extra, extra large. 100% wool sweater. It's vintage. It's very itchy. It's a nice brown wool sweater with beige or tan trim. Super cute. Then I found a handful of girls' vintage dresses, and I actually almost started to pass them up. And I did comps on the one brand. I didn't do comps on all of them, but wow, the one dress that I'll show you that I did comps on was going for like 100. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Candy Ann with a K. Girl size 4, just vintage dress. It's got kind of a little lace bib, lace trim. It's got, is it lined? Yeah, it's lined at the hem. It's not full. No, it is fully lined. Yeah, it's lined. Just really cute, vintage, lightweight, size 4. Now, I don't know if kids sizing is similar to adult sizing, where vintage sizes were smaller, but yeah. This I picked up because I thought my friend's nephew might want this because he plays a lot of games. And I didn't know if he was on PlayStation or what he was on, but it turns out he's not on PlayStation. So these go for about $15. I'm just going to sell it. It's a men's kind of gray and white washout. Really soft, kind of stretchy. I suppose it's a cotton poly blend PlayStation long sleeve tee. So no harm. I will sell it. This is Lucky Brand, and it is is that blue? So it's cream and blue sort of maxi dress, size large. Unfortunately, it has like belt loops. Do you see that? But no belt. But it's like a jersey, a lightweight jersey knit, totally stretchy. And then at the bottom, it's got like a tier on the front. Does it? Am I making that up? You know, it has a tier right here. Can you see that? So it has it kind of angles, like asymmetrical bias cut. That's what they call that. But really cute, easy to wear, lightweight, not in season. Lucky Brand isn't the world's greatest seller, but with a maxi dress, I think I'll be fine with that piece. And I paid $33. What did I say? Yeah, $33.02 for all these items, so keep that in mind. This, I believe, was my find of the day. They did roll out a new purse bin when I was there. 2 new purse bins, and that's, or well, I'll call it accessories because they are full of purses, hats, lots of suitcases, belts, you know, just things like that. But this brand was new to me, Hammett, Los Angeles, Hammitt. And it's a silver studded leather snake skin or croc embossed, I guess it's snake skin. Just gorgeous aquamarine color. And it's small. What really surprised me is it zips open and the inside's really small, and then it's just got the slip pocket on the back. But I could tell it was quality, so I grabbed it when I saw it. And when I pulled it to the side and did the comps on it, these actually go for like $100. Some of them, I mean, some go for like, I don't think I saw any selling for less than $60. I mean, sometimes I remember things wrong, but definitely a good item, and the profit on this will pay for the whole batch. Oh, I just remembered something too. I was running footage when I was in there. Terrible footage. I just had a strap around my neck with my phone, so the angles were all goofy and it was crazy. But I think I might try to squeeze that footage in here somewhere because I hate taking footage and not using it. And I just, I haven't done footage inside of bins for a while just because it adds some, it just and then I can't take out my phone and look at comps when I'm running footage. So I didn't take footage the whole time, but it kind of shows you, you know, what the inside of that bins is like. So I'll either pop it here or I'll run it in fast speed at the end of the video if that location is something that you're interested in seeing what it's like. They actually, I find good items there. And no blockbusters today, but I found a Coach purse that I put back because it had too much wear. There are a few other items that I found that had a little bit too much wear that were brand name, but old school kind of area. A lot, you find a lot of vintage pieces there. There's some islands surrounding Brunswick where people have probably a little bit more discretionary income and they donate nice pieces. So I like to go for that reason. Anyway, we'll see about that footage. This is Kathleen Scott, girls size 4, vintage dress. And this has a little weight to it. And it's just nice blue with lace. And it's got, like, does it have tulle lining? No, this one actually came with a slip. So there's the dress. It did have, so like, and I'm going to sell these all as is. It has a safety pin holding the collar together. And I think these probably came from the same donation because most of them had a safety pin holding something together. But I mean, this thing is probably from the 50s or 60s. I'm not gonna try to fix it because it's too vintage. And I'm also not going to expect it to be in perfect condition. So that was piece 1. And it came with its own slip, which also has a safety pin in it somewhere. But just a matching slip to go underneath the dress. Very cute. And yeah, one of the straps is safety pinned on. But obviously, otherwise, these pieces were very well cared for. And just, they're kind of charming. They're super cute. Another one, this is... of course, also vintage. And the brand on this is the one I think I did the comps on. Betty Odin. It's girl size 5. Betty Odin. Is that focusing? Okay. So it's a lilac purple. Do they call these can dresses when they have that like that? But it's got tulle underneath. This one is in good shape, but it had a little mark somewhere on the back. Nothing really significant. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I'm not going to try to stain treat or do anything to these vintage dresses, like I said. So just fun. I hope there is a buyer out there who will come. I mean, they're all size 4, 5, and 6. So, you know, maybe if someone had a daughter that wears size 4, she could get, you know, all of them and then let her graduate up through the dresses. Because I think people who like vintage dresses like that would be interested in finding them all in a set. I don't know. I could be wrong. Susan Bristol Concepts. I've sold Susan Bristol sweaters before. It's a vintage brand. This is sized at size large. I mean, I think it's probably a little small for that. But it's got little pink buttons and embroidered flowers. And it's got like a poof effect at the shoulders. And just a real dainty sort of spring sweater. And it's a Ramie cotton blend. So if you know how Ramie cotton blends, kind of like Ramie is a rough fabric, so it kind of has that to it, which in this type of sweater with embroidery, I think would help it hold its form. So a good piece, probably not for everyone, but someone will buy it. This sweater, so I had to figure out what the brand was by doing a Google lens on the tag, but it's CJ Viking. Would you think that by looking at it? There's a C in there and a J, and then it has like a Viking horn. So the brand is CJ Viking. Thank you, Google Lens. Thank you. But it's a beautiful Fair Isle wool sweater made in Denmark in a nice mauve pink or like a dusty plum. I don't know what you would call that color. But look at that. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And, yeah, I think the tag, it says, yeah, hand knitted in Denmark, 100% new wool. And it's just so cute, so warm. So in season. So I'll probably price this at $50. I don't expect to get $50 for it, but I'm going to start there, especially considering I'll probably be having a sale soon. And this is a really unique piece, and it's made in Denmark, and it's in great condition. All these sweaters, I will say, I looked over super closely for holes because sweaters that are wool usually 99% of the time have holes. This time around, I was actually really lucky. Another wool sweater. This is pink, woman size small, Lord & Taylor. Yeah, 100% wool. Just a woman's pink cardigan, and what I like about it is the buttons. Are they pink? They're real off pink, but that's vintage. I don't know, is Lord & Taylor still, that's a department store. I don't think they still are. I mean, I don't know. I think Macy's bought out every department store in the United States, so if they are still standing, good kudos to them. But yeah, if you go into Macy's these days, the place is just a dump. Like, it blows my mind. I don't know if any of you, like, I'm not a spring chicken. So, I mean, I grew up in Minnesota, so we had Dayton's, and then Carson Prairie Scott from the Chicago area came down to Minnesota, and we had a department store called Powers. We had a department store called Donaldson's, and then we had like Woolworths and Penny's. And then we started getting like higher end department stores came to the area, like Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue. And they, I don't think, ever did that well as Dayton's did. But Macy's bought Dayton's out, and it was our regional chain store. And it was just the best place you could ever shop. They had excellent items, great house brands. You know, every year, like most department stores, they had the Christmas display, and you could go and walk through that, and they'd have everything decorated. There were 8 floors. And down in the basement, they had like bargains, and then in the later years, they put a food court down there. I'm talking about the one, like the main one in downtown Minneapolis. But I just have such fond memories of that store, so I really resent Macy's like buying out every department store. And then now their stores just look like pure trash. And I think I got off on a segue here just from talking about, did Lord & Taylor still have department stores? But I wish everybody still had department stores, regional ones that catered to their own regional clientele instead of Macy's, where you're getting everything the same across the nation. Their stores look like pure dumps. Like, they can't keep them staffed. The customer service is terrible. If you go in, there's like one cashier working for, I don't even go in. I haven't been in a Macy's in years, but that was just my experience. And I worked at 2 separate Macy's. Years ago, I worked at one out on the West Coast, and then back home, I worked at the one at the Mall of America for some time. And they weren't quite as bad then, but they were never as nice as Dayton's or probably Lord & Taylor. So anyway, that is my soapbox for the day. Moving right along. This is a cashmere scarf made in Scotland. Usually they have the brand on here. This one did not have the brand. Just says 100% cashmere made in Scotland. It's unisex, I think, because of that navy blue and red and white color blend. I'm going to post it as a men's scarf, but certainly unisex, soft and in good condition. Although when you get scarves like this that are cashmere, they're soft. They're not as soft as a cashmere sweater, though, because I've sold cashmere scarves just like this twice before. And just kind of bothers me that they're not as soft, but people buy them and they don't complain. So I guess they're not expecting them to be that soft, or they're not typically that soft. I don't know. I'm getting off on a tangent again. The brand on this is Miss Quality, and it's a girl size 6. The last vintage dress that I got, and it's a gorgeous kind of navy blue. It's got that same kind of skirt with lining underneath and a sash at the back, and it buttons. And I actually saw one of these on eBay. I looked this up as well. I saw one of these on eBay for over $100. I don't know if I looked at sold comps, but I mean, that's clearly a vintage tag. So, yeah, it was kind of fun to find all those. And I just have a few more items here. This piece is woman's size small, and I was on the fence about picking it up. The brand is Gotham, and it's a woman's vintage robe. And it's got kind of like let me stand up here and show you. So it's got kind of like it's not quite, I mean, I guess it's lace-like. Overlay on the outside, and then it's like open on the front. So it would come like that. And there's definitely a buyer for these type of things. Like, I've sold things like this before. They take a while to sell, but it's like got neat details, like a little pearl embellishment. Let me show you the tag just so you can see how it's vintage. Yeah, Gotham. It says Gotham gold stripe. So maybe they had a few different tiers or whatever, but yeah. I did find another kind of lingerie piece in size small that I thought would be neat. It was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the brand Shadowline, but vintage look, like loungewear and nightgowns, and they sell the kind of nightgowns that you maybe could have gotten years ago at the department store. But it's sold on, I think they have their own website, and it's also sold on Amazon, but it's made to look vintage. It's not actually vintage, but I did see a mint green shadow line piece there that was kind of sharp. But two things had me to put it back down. It was size small, which I know would have made it take a while to sell. And then it also had a few black marks to it. And I know from experience with stain treating nylon fabric before, those stains are hard to get out on nylon. It takes a lot of elbow grease or they just don't come out at all. So for that reason, I decided to not opt in to get that piece. But if it would have been a larger size, I would have. So I got a whole bunch of silk scarves the last time I went to the bins, actually the Savannah bins, and I didn't post any of them yet because there's just so many of them. But I found another silk scarf. This is Talbot's. It's just a gorgeous regal print scarf with like the crest on there. That's got leopard trim. Talbot's 100% silk. I think that's Talbot's vintage tag. I believe it is. I don't know. That's not one of the brands I know a lot about. I do sell it often enough. I should probably learn more. But yeah, it's either, I don't know if that's black or navy blue. I think that's a really dark navy blue. But oh, the silk just feels great. And then the last piece I got was a woman's, I'll be really mad if I missed a piece. No, I did not. Okay, so this is a Western, like a vegan Western bag. But look at that. Isn't that funky? And it's just like a boutique thing. Action Imports is the brand. It's new with tag. It's got a little slip pocket at the back, but just something you could carry with you when you were line dancing or whatever, that sort of thing, or going to Nashville, or I don't know, wherever someone would carry something like this. But just a striped interior, magnetic, lots of rhinestone bling, and kind of that Western styling right there. I did not like that the strap was kind of chain link with the vegan leather woven through. I think they probably could have done a little bit better with that. But, yeah, I thought that was fun. And then, that is it. That's actually it. If this was helpful or useful to you, I'm just laughing at I just thought of something. If this was helpful or useful, please give me a thumbs up. I thank you so much for sticking around if you watched the whole video. I will probably be back in less than a couple of weeks with my what sold for the whole month of November. I really hope things pick up. Either way, I'm going to have a half off sale in December. So if you like anything in my closet, be sure to come back and take advantage of that. Or I might have it the week of Thanksgiving. Like I said, I'd give me your feedback. I mean, I don't know when to have it. I'm not good at marketing. I'm just good at taking pictures and finding things. Like everything else about Poshmark, I think I kind of suck at. But anyway, that's why I'm doing it part-time now instead of full-time, because it kind of gets overwhelming. It's a lot to keep up with. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.